The second classic stock catch race away then. We're on pole with Poleman, Imran Khan. Another good start from Paul Ford. That's two good starts he's had this weekend. Is he going to sneak up on the inside of Lee Scott and Andy Philpott? It's not quite as good as the first one in turn though. It's Matt Rosier going around the outside of Imran Khan for the lead. We can't see this, but it's not the good start as first time round for Khan. So it's Rosier the lead. Second car, but here comes Scott, the championship leader, around the outside. Paul Falk trying to sneak on the inside as well. Andy Philpott is another person going around the outside. There you can see he did that in the first race as well. Now Khan's going to try and sneak back up on the inside of Rosier as they exit the hairpin for the first time. But I think it is going to be Rosier the lead. Khan second. Scott's gone third for Philpott. So this is all pretty much in the order as they run down to the hairpin. But now Lee's got up on the inside of Imran Khan. In turn though, Martin Kaiser there. Sneak a bit of contact. He's on the inside of Paul Ford to go into fifth position. Derek Rosier sits in seventh behind four. And Matt Rosier did hold on to the lead even though Imran Khan was trying to challenge him, and Kaiser goes all over the dirt. And he's on a bit of the wrong line there for Pit Path as they now head their way through Kirby, the double left-hander. Then put the power on Matt Stubbington there behind Derek Rosier in 8th position. So head down towards Graceland for the first time. Being led by Matt Rosier, just trying to get away from Imran Khan. It's Martin Kaiser, a lovely drift through there. He had to save that multiple times. So the Ford Fiesta went a bit sideways. So into the hairpin they go then. It's Rosier that leads. It's a queue of cars. And Mervyn Beckett there, just ahead of the person that drove his car and won the championship in it last year. Damien Cottrell that's behind him, returning this weekend. He's stuck at the back of the grid due to missing qualifying. Side by side between Andrew Thorpe and Keith Morgan as they head down towards the chicane. We're in board with the Suzuki. The Suzuki Swift GTI of Morgan couldn't find a way past Andrew Thorpe though, as they head now their way onto the straight past the Rockingham building, and then he's looking on the inside here. Williamson just in front as well, so the two cars are going to run side by side to go through turn one of the banked oval. Oval corner. Williamson is going to be close in now. Keith Morgan on a charge. He's gone on the inside of Thorpe. Has he got this one done? Well, Thorpe's still going to... No, he's past Thorpe. Williamson there, cocking that inside wheel up in the air. But he stays in front for the moment. But Thorpe's going around the outside. It's a great battle just in front of us. As we turn our way then through the right-hander there. At Yedwood, and Williamson stays in front. Thorpe now on the inside line for Chapman Kirk, back through ahead of it. Meanwhile, down the end of the out the pit path through Kirby now, we're on board with Imran Khan. He was under a bit of attack from the championship leader. Lee Scott stays in front of him though, but it is still Matt Rosier in the Peugeot 205 that leads the way into Graceland's return. And look at Lee Scott pitching the car sideways in the middle of the corner. Great corner there, he's Graceland. Really see the drivers at work through there. Into Tarzan though for your leader. That's Rosier, then Khan, Scott, Philpott, top 40 yards to get away. Then it's Kaiser ahead of Thorpe, then Ryan Lowry in 7th, then Derek Rosier, Matt Stubbington, Damien Cottrell, and Martin Fowdry side by side. Here's Andrew Thorpe. We can keep Morgan back ahead of Williamson, and Alan Dooley in the middle there. Gets a bit of a sideways moment on. Managed to hold it all together though. Through turn one for Imran Khan. Lee Scott sits behind him. He's in third. A bit further behind him he was when we saw him down the pit path when there absolutely no sound, but Lee's got late on the brakes, down the gears, but he locks up. He managed to slow the car down enough though, but Andy Philpott, he runs out wide. He's going to lose a bit of time now to Lee Scott, and perhaps fall into the clutch of Martin Kaiser. So they head through Yentwood, or onto the brake for Yentwood, then they turn through that right-hander. Now Lee Scott really started to get back onto terms with Imran Khan, the race one winner. Matt Rosier hasn't won a race yet this year. Lee Scott gets hugely sideways. Fantastic car control from him, but he's lost a bit of time there. A good half a second or so. He's falling back from Imran Khan. As I was saying, Matt Rosier hasn't won a race yet this year. He's leading the way. Lee Scott's won the majority of them. Well, Imran Khan's starting to get up to his number of wins as well now, after winning his third race this morning. As now Rosier with Khan right underneath him. Khan going for number 4 of the year. It's there in 6th as well. Thorpe and Lowry having a good scrap. Then Rosier, Cottrell, Fowdry, Stubbington's dropped back a bit that time. Great battling throughout the pack here in Classic Stock Cat. Something we get used to in this championship. Keith Morgan's gained a place or so. Rocky Williams has fallen a bit down, and we've got a problem here for the 23. Ollie Forday. I think it's going to be our first retirement, the first car to drop out. Yes. So we've had 18 starters. I think Ford is going to make it down to 17. Ryan Lowry moves to the inside to try and come ahead of Paul Thorpe. He's got the line. Has he able to be brave enough and brake late? Yes, he has. Up to 6th, then goes Ryan Lowry. This is his best weekend in his racing career. Only started a year or so ago, did Lowry, but he doesn't quite hit the apex there. Paul Thorpe does so. Next grass track racer, Thorpe comes back on the inside as they head through Chapman Curve. He was a double winner last year. Paul Thorpe started circuit racing in 2011 with this car in classic stock. Actually moved back ahead of Ryan Lowry there, but he's tried up him under pressure again. As they head down to Kirby, he looked to the inside, he looks to the outside. Can't find a way through yet. And he keeps coming round the outside as somebody in front's gone all over the dirt. Matt Rosa then continues to lead. Imran Khan right behind him as well. The two of them just start to break away from Lee Scott and Andy Philpotts for the moment. Then 5th is Kaiser. Then Thorpe and Lowry still battling for the 6th and 7th positions. Valdry back to the front of this scrap. Then Damien Cottrell, Matt Stubbington, Derek Rosa and Andrew Thorpe all involved there. Great bit of racing between them. Then Mervyn Beckett, Keith Morgan are next up. And Alan Dooley there in the Ford Fiesta. He went into the snowbank at the beginning of the year at Mullery Park. Completely different weather to that now here at Rockingham. It is baking hot out there. Martin Kaiser turns to the inside of the circuit. Looks like a problem again for his car. He had that in race 1 a bit earlier this time round. Maybe overheating problems in these hot temperatures. Looks like Martin Kaiser will be a retirement. Top 4 all coming back together again then. So it's still the same order. Rosia, Khan, Scott, Philpotts, but they're rather close now. The battle of 5th still on. That's between Brian Lowry, who's just behind Paul Thorpe, and Valdry staying ahead of Cottrell there in the battle of 7th. Good racing, as I've been saying, all the way down the pack here in Classic Stock Catch. First ever meeting at Rockingham for the 750 Motor Club, and there is Kaiser, definitely with problems. Into the left-hander at Dean Hairpin. Paul Thorpe doesn't quite hit the apex. That's very unusual. Thorpe usually does hit the apexes, but not to worry because Ryan Lowry there still behind him. So they turn the other way through yet with Thorpe back to hitting the apex and all over the curve on the exit of the corner as well. Down into Chapman Curve and this right-hander. The cars drift out through here as they do at Gracelands. Really hard work for the drivers. A very technical infield here at Rockingham. And Ryan Lowry, this is a good part of the circuit for him. Down at Kirby, he's trying to come around the outside of Thorpe, can't do so. Maybe trying to go around the outside and lost a bit of time then. The leaders absolutely together. Andy Philpotts on the inside of Lee Scott. They're side by side for 3rd position as they head down to the chicane. It's Scott on the inside, Philpotts on the outside. Who's going to head into the chicane as the leader? Well, in 3rd position, well, it's Lee Scott. He stayed on that inside line. He managed to stay in front as they headed through the Brook chicane. They now turn onto the turn 4 oval. Turn 4 of the oval. And Lee Scott goes extremely close to the turn 4 concrete wall there. Not Imran Khan nowhere near as close as Scott would. Philpotts followed him out there, tucked right up against the concrete wall. Then onto the white line they go as they turn through the left-hander at turn 1. Then they head down towards the Dean Hairpin. We're on to the final lap now of this Classic Stock Catch race. We've had 13 minutes and here comes Philpotts. He's on the inside of Lee Scott. He can't find a way through though. Lee Scott there, you can see looking over there. Where's Andy Philpotts? Well, he's behind you at the moment, Lee. Scott still there in that 3rd position then, but still leading. Matt Rosier looking for his first win of the season. Matt Rosier was so close to win the championship last year, got pipped right at the end. He led it pretty much all the way till Damien Cottrell had the victory in the last race at Snedden. He took the championship there in the Vauxhall Nova. But Matt Rosier's had a very unlucky start to the season. He had a crash at Brands Hatch, for example, as Philpotts, and Lee Scott made contact there as Philpotts rubs against the Ford Fiesta, and they're going to be side by side heading to Gracelands. Who's going to have the final podium spot? Philpotts in the inside, the championship leader, they're side by side as they head through the corner. I think Lee Scott just staying in front just about, but here comes your race leader, Matt Rosie. You can still inward cards to attach to the back of him. This Philbots goes to the inside of Lee Scott, can't find a way through though, so I think Lee Scott should hold on for third. But who's going to be in 5th position? Well, it's Ryan Lowry. He's got back ahead of Paul Thorpe, runs up very wide at the hairpin, so Paul Thorpe tried to sneak underneath him. Damien Cottrell is there as well, he's in 7th. Then Matt Stubbington, he's in 8th. He's got a gap back to Derek Roger and Andrew Thorpe, who battle for 9th position. And then Mervyn Beck into the chicane for the final time. Then it's Ryan Lowry just in front of Paul Thorpe. Meanwhile, across the line to take his first win of the year is Matt Roger. Across the line, 2nd Khan, 3rd Scott, and 4th is Phil Potts. 5th going to go to Ryan Lowry, nose to tail for 6th. Paul Thorpe gives away to Damien Cottrell. Thorpe takes 6th, then 7th for Cottrell.